This is Football Daft with Stephen Purden,
midfield dynamo and average actor,
Chris Toll,
target man, suspicious character,
and
With the top end of Stevenson, Greeno!
Welcome to Football Daft, the daftest Scottish football podcast around. My name's Stephen Purden, and let's welcome the team. First, a man who loves homeschooling as much as he loves Neil Lennon right now. It is Chris Toll. Mate, talk to me. You alright? You're having a tough time. I feel sorry for you now, if I'm being honest.
Honestly, God, man.
You gotta agree?
Take football out of the equation, right? You're doing it, John. You're doing it.
Yeah.
Is it no an absolute nightmare?
It's horrible.
I'm only doing it 2 days a week, which I'm thankful for now.
Get yourself to fuck. Moaning about it, you're only doing it 2 days a week.
Sorry, mate. Sorry, part-timer.
Fuck's sake.
Part-timer, I'm like the teacher that you would get and you would rip the piss out of. See, the one that was only in for the day? Back in high school.
Yeah. You see, the young team are fucking, they've found a wee idea how to not answer questions. They've changed their, see how their Zoom name to reconnecting with ... and then sitting there fucking going like that. So don't answer questions.
It's brilliant.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
Now, let's welcome a man whose finger is on the pulse with homeschooling. It is Gradle. What's happening, mate? You know what I mean?
How's it going?
You know what I be shot? You know what I be shot to get, mate?
Oh, no, because I'm away doing the radio, innit? I'm on the radio every morning as Chris Stephanie. Deals with all that kind of stuff.
Aye, but you're here for 10 o'clock or something, you know?
Aye, I know, man. But I've got podcasts and all that, you know what I mean? So it's kind of...
Essential worker.
I'm a key worker, mate. Fucking news and all that on the radio. I did the travel, mate. Come on.
It does take travel. You can't lie. You can't argue with that, can you?
Okay, so you think, mate? I think that it's got potential, man. To be like a show, like taking these shots at us doing homeschooling. You know what I mean, like
BBC Scotland, give them a bell. They'll fucking put it on.
Aye,
They put test driving the telly, man. They'll certainly do that.
what's that? I was in. I done a wee shot. You remember in the motor test?
So you did, man. I know. We done it. No, remember we done it.
Mine asked me to be on it, Gradle, but you didn't have a kid seat.
Well, it's funny he's mentioned kid seat because I got him out his house to come and film something with me driving a car round about Glasgow. It lasted about an hour, and then it came back the next day. Your arms were all the seatbelt. The seatbelt wasn't on right, so they fucking made us film it again.
No, see that absolute fucking cream puff Gradle would go in if I said to him, you need to sit in a motor with me for an hour, with this mad guy on his arse at the back filming you and two fucking dash cams looking at you basically. We need to do it all again tomorrow. The huffy that went in. He's like,
I do appreciate it, mate. I do appreciate it, but
aye. You offered me, what was the contract? It's worth like £1 or something.
It was £1, remember that?
No joking. Toll, I'm not joking. The contract said, well, we will pay Stephen Purden the sum of £1 British sterling.
That is a God's honest truth, isn't it? Because they
So
had
basically what you're telling me, Stevie, is you're worth the same as Rangers.
Now let's get down to the football chat, shall we? Right. No, that's true story. What if
They did pay you £1, didn't they? Remember that?
I still don't think they've paid me it. Because I didn't think I signed the contract.
I'll screw you up next week, mate.
Nah, it's alright, mate. Fuck yeah, but it, man. Just buy me a coffee, man. Right, anyway, troops.
That's more than a pound.
Hey!
Hey!
Coffees, man. I think Morelos had too much coffee last night.
Aye.
Do you know what? That boy's got a bad bit in him.
Thanks, sir.
Toll's not biting to the coffee part, man.
He has. Do you know what? It's probably something that's bypassed me again, Stevie.
Aye, it has, mate. You need to get back on Twitter and all that, mate.
You know what? I'm back on Instagram.
Right. But, mate, what you're going to do is you're going to send me a link to some fucking hang about the Rangers players getting doped. Their coffee, the doping scandal. Oh my God, mate, that was about 2 weeks ago and trying to battle.
Oh, wait a minute. What, is somebody saying that the Rangers players are fucking...
There was a Celtic blog came out and the guy was fucking so serious, right? Going on about how Rangers are doping their players. It's like putting the stuff out of their coffee and all that. Do you know what I mean? So that's what me and Gabe were trying to wind you up about.
For fuck's sake.
But it's funny, man, because too, you're not the only one. There's loads of football fans that are just not picking up all the patter now. They've been in about it for the last 9 years, and then this year they're suddenly, I can't bother with football now. Can't bother with football. I've not seen it.
No, that's not the case at all, mate. That's not the case at all. It's just like Stevie says. I'm not tuned in because I'm not on Twitter anymore. I've got a Twitter for my movie podcast, but that's got about fucking 8 followers or something like that. So, and I just try to keep it to movie stuff, so I don't follow the football on it. But like I say, I'm back on the old Instagram. So there we go. I am Chris Toll. If you want to give me abuse through private messaging, brilliant. Let's do it, lads.
Right, so we are recording this on the Thursday, the day after. There was a full card last night. The old Rangers went to Hibs, 1-1-0. Celtic get their first victory of the year. How'd that go last night, mate? How'd you play?
Stevie, it was like watching paint dry. Honestly, it was fucking garbage. The only player on the park that gets pass marks from me is Greg Taylor, ironically, somebody that I berate every time he plays. I thought he was excellent last night.
He's been getting quite good. I've heard Celtic fans saying that about him quite a few times now. Like, I think it was at what game was it?
The Livy game away. People were saying that he was good, but I never seen it in that game, to be honest with you. But last night I thought he was really good. I thought he had a great game.
Well, he's got a victory, mate. First of the year. He kept a clean sheet. Duffy was playing clean sheet as well. Know what I mean? What about the goalkeeping situation? Who was it? Was it Scott Bain last night?
It was Scott Bain. He kept his second ever clean sheet as a Celtic goalie.
You were saying that fair earlier on, fucking his second clean sheet this year. I mean,
sorry, I'm saying that the only person that gets pass marks is Greg Taylor. Sorrow was outstanding last night.
Did he not get man in the match?
He was outstanding, and he gave an interview after the game. He's like, all he kept on saying was, "I'm sorry, I don't speak English." It was fucking hilarious. it was brilliant. Do you know what I mean?
I've got a stat for you as well. Do you know that was Celtic's 33rd different starting 11 this season? 33rd different starting 11.
Wow.
And we've only played 32 games. No, it's that tells you all you need to know about the manager. He doesn't know his best team. End of story.
Grado, watched the Rangers game last night with Jank?
I sure did, man. I sure did. Well done, Rangers. I thought it was. I thought the first half a wee bit shaky. The first half, I thought Hibs were the better team, had the better chances. Second half, it was one of the games. It was like Motherwell can't wait to half time, so they come out a different team, and they did come out a different team. Folk Kamara was shit hot.
Oh, sensational.
Some of the wee bits I play a football, man. Oh my god, man, this is superb to watch.
The one for Kent's shot where he's done a wee fucking turn on a sixpence, man. Fucking right round, down with the ball, wee 1-2, boom, right across. Kent hit the shot. What a goal that would have been.
It's superb, Bo, honestly. But I think they look comfortable in the second half, as you do, man. 83 minutes. It's the 83rd minute for half an hour every game. Do you know that way?
Aye.
You just kind of get used to these 1-0 victories, you know, because we've been stung in the past. But it's brilliant that, and you could say that last year we might have 10 free points for that game. So we're just so much more organised this season. We know what we're doing. Right. Everything is organised.
The question is then, boys, you said
I know it's coming.
We have our Rangers Daft podcast, which you can get on our Patreon channel, patreon.com/Football Daft. The last couple of months on Rangers Daft, right? I have asked you the question, is the league done? And you said at the end of January you would tell me.
I've always said if we get through February unscathed.
Away you freaking ass.
Right. Pause in the vice right now, Stephen Purden and Grado. Is the league done?
Right.
Yes.
The league is done. For me, I think the league is done now. Where's it?
Chris Toll's done.
Gone.
I think it is.
I think it is. I mean, I did say to myself, we did say January, and I just can't see Rangers losing 6 games. There is no way that we're going to do that. And if it comes back to biting his ass, it will be the biggest fucking mega
I'll be
ultra.
honest with you, mate. There's no way Rangers are going to lose 6 games, but see, even if they do, Celtic aren't going to win every single game.
We need to win 8. We need to win 8 games now, and we've won the league. I've looked at the fixtures for right. The way I look at it now, man. Right, if you lay the fixtures down in front of me that we had at the end of November, if you said right December, starting for December, for then to January, the fixtures, we need to go to Easter Road, we need to play Celtic, we need to go to Fir Park, we need to go to Pittodrie. If somebody told me you're getting through that, we only dropped them 2 points, I'd go, what I did say, me and Grado did say, get through that reasonably unscathed, we should be in a good position. And to add the factor on top of that, Celtic have absolutely had a fucking meltdown, we can't throw this away now.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It's too big a gap. Even if Celtic win their games in Hon, it's too big a gap.
I mean, we're talking about last night's game, the Hibs game, but the game on Saturday, we're talking about it in Rangers Daft. Again, superb. Aribo played, was tremendous goal. It's just, things are looking up, you know?
I think Glenn Kamara is...
I think he's off in the summer, man.
Aye.
They're going to be...
I think he'll sign a new contract very soon, but then after the Euros, he'll go, and he's our biggest asset now. He could go for anything he wants to go for because he's that good, in my opinion. Jeremy Frimpong, away to Leverkusen, doesn't want to play for Celtic anymore. Toll, what's your thoughts?
It's a good bit of money for you, I'll tell you that.
Aye, it's good. It's good bit of money for the new manager coming in.
Aye, can 11.5 million play up front? Fucking disaster.
Well,
it's a disaster!
It's a catastrophe! Right. No, in all honesty, but right, John will back me up here. I've been a big fan of Frimpong. However, he doesn't seem to have worked on his weaknesses. Right, he's an exciting player to watch when he's going forward until he gets to a certain point, and then he can't put the ball into the box. Now, to get 11.5 million or whatever it turns out to be, regardless, you know, it's a lot more money than we paid for him, right? It's good business, but you know, fucking the balance sheet doesn't win trophies, and I don't know. See if they reinvest 11.5 million, fair enough. But do I trust them to do that? They are fuck. You know what I mean? It's just it's one thing after another.
Well, you've just signed Ben Davies. You've just seen breaking news there, Chris. What do you make of that?
Well, he's like you said, John. He was quite coveted by a lot of teams down in England. So the fact that we've managed to get him hints to me that his manager might be coming up here at some point and all. You know what I mean? Alex Neil's his manager, down there, am I right?
Yeah, he is Preston manager,
I mean?
right?
That your pick, though?
No, but it's something that popped into my head when I heard that we had signed him.
Who is? I mean, because there's something about that in it where your team needs a new manager. I know that. You know, it's evident that Celtic fans are looking for. They want a new manager. Who do you want? I want to know who you want.
For reputation's sake, and although he hasn't really been a success down south, I would like us to try and get Frank Lampard, because the eyes that it would put in Scottish football, Lampard versus Gerrard.
That would be box office, man.
Box office.
That would be, aye.
It
would hurt me a wee bit. That would hurt me a wee bit.
Oh,
I like Lampard.
Aye, but I liked Gerrard.
That's what I said in Rangers Daft. That's what I said in Rangers Daft. I goes,
exactly
it's funny that
said.
because, do you know what I mean? Celtic fans are like, fucking Gerrard's, he a Celtic man, and it's like the way Rangers going about Lampard. He's a Rangers man, so you're right. It'd be fucking interesting.
Can you imagine them? The fixtures getting released, right? Two managers standing there. The trophy in the middle with the red, white, and blue ribbons because we've won it. So it's standing there, and
like
Lampard
a WrestleMania
and Gerrard
poster.
standing there. It's Lampard and Gerrard, and then you've got wee Martindale at the back.
Because his team have came second.
Just sign Niall McGinn. No, but I think that would absolutely fucking. That would be everywhere.
It would be worldwide. It would be worldwide. It really would. Right. Obviously, it's a shot in the dark. You don't know how it's going to turn out. He done quite well for Derby.
He did.
He done all right with Chelsea. See, when you think about what he followed, he done all right with Chelsea. But Chelsea, like Steven Gerrard said, they're far too quick to pull the trigger.
See, absolutely. The thing is, right, I say to my mates, we all do our fantasy football and all that shit, right, and we sit and talk about Chelsea, Man U, Arsenal, whatever, start the season. This was Lampard's biggest test, because last year the transfer ban was in place. He bled through a lot of youngsters. Mount became a bit of a player. Hazard had just left. He was on he had a free hit almost.
Aye.
He was always going to be judged by Abramovich when Abramovich is went, right, there's fucking X amounts of millions to go and spend. And I just don't think he's experienced enough at that level to go that amount of money and the big pedigree of players that were not coming there. And I'm gutted it didn't work for him, but I just think this was always his biggest test. And Abramovich, he's fucking sacked better managers than Lampard. Know what I mean? So he's always going to do it, man.
That's true, but he's sacked better managers than Lampard, but he's not sacked anybody that's got the connection to the club like Lampard has.
No. But that shows you how ruthless he is, mate.
Mate,
Do you know what I
listen, you don't become a billionaire by like
No.
somebody says it's not called show friends.
Show friends, brother.
Exactly.
It's a bit like, could you know what I mean? It's like loyalty. No, loyalty. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, a connection to a club. It means fuck all. At the end of the day, no loyalty.
It's business, no pleasure, man.
Aye, like, and I think some Celtic fans will probably look at Lampard and go, well, fuck, they can do it. They can sack a manager that's been voted their best ever player. And you look at Lennon at Celtic, there'll be a lot of fans going, do you know what I mean? That's what we
I think I've seen somebody saying that the other night, man. That's true. It is. See, like going, I think somebody commented a Celtic boy I follow on Twitter said, blah blah blah. Look at that. What Chelsea have just done. Celtic fucking take heed. Do you know what I mean?
For me, it's the perfect job for Lampard as well. Do you know what I mean? See if he can come in, steady the ship, and after a couple of seasons have his back up there. Like, you know what I mean? Like build his own team. You know, because steady the ship.
Aye.
I know, mate.
Let Neil go upstairs. For that point. He'll go upstairs.
Upstairs, just a pair of stairs with nothing else at the end. Just let him fall right after fuckers.
Get up to fix the disco light.
What did you make of last night with Morelos? Did you see the alleged stamp?
Alleged stamp.
What? It's not that. What? Did you see it?
Right, it's just it's a sending off. 100%, it's a sending off. Right, you can't deny it.
Sending off. Fucking Duncan Ferguson done jail time for less.
We need to see. It's fucking. As soon as that happened, I went, I'm going to see this all night now. I'm going to see this
Andy
all night.
Walker and Ian Crocker, honestly, they couldn't have had a bigger hard-on for
Andy Walker hates Morelos, doesn't he?
Listen, I don't mind listening to Andy Walker because see, at the end of the day, calls it as is. He's no fear to say anything about Celtic, but Crocker, man, he was fucking when they drop it.
Crocker kept
when they drop it, and you think of the elbow. Celtic against Livingston 2 weeks ago, I can't remember, it was a Celtic centre half gave him the elbow, bang, that's it. I know it was near the end of the game, but
was it
in comparison, man.
The manager's not coming in and saying anything at the end of it, and you two as Rangers supporters must be looking at it again going, what a stupid fucking idiot. I mean,
listen, Gerrard will have dragged him after that game, regardless of the fact that he get the winner.
Don't know what else you can do, Tom. I don't know what else he can do.
Yeah, yes. I mean, how many
Gerrard
times?
must be like that, right? Get this guy to fuck.
Gerrard's reply button, the interview on Sky after it was brilliant. When that Luke Chalmers?
Luke Chalmers.
Is it Luke Chalmers? Luke Chalmers. He's like that. What'd you think it? Blah blah blah. And Gerrard said, I've not had a chance to watch it yet because I just could tell how cold you were out here waiting on me to come out and talk to you. So I just got it. Do you know what I mean?
But do you think the decision's made now that Morelos has gone in the summer? Because you can't have that. You just can't have that.
The thing is, but he can only go if teams come in for him.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like he's not exactly had a great season, and he had this season in his life last season, and he didn't go. So,
mate, we're in the exact same boat with Edward as well.
Aye.
Except the only difference is Edward doesn't fucking commit in GBH every other week.
But we might be talking more about this stuff on the open line later. But on the show today, we welcome a man who's made over 300 appearances for Aberdeen. It's Niall McGinn, plus another contestant on the Player Profile Playoff. And on the big question, we're asking, what's the best celebration you've ever seen? Right, a man who knows all about road traffic accidents because he does the travel on Go Radio in the morning. It is our man. It is Grado.
And also
about the roads.
Also spent 10 years in the fire brigade as well, dealing with road traffic collisions. Remember, everybody.
So, what should people do if they're involved in an accident, Grado?
Remember, if you've been in a road traffic accident and it's not your fault, G4 Claims can make it easy for you. They can provide you with complete accident management support that you require. They're going to recover costs from the at-fault party. Listen to this. They're going to sort you out with a vehicle, a like-for-like vehicle replacement. And they're also going to organise your vehicle to be repaired at one of their approved body shops and returned to your house. Should your vehicle be deemed a write-off, unfortunately, for that, well, they're going to recover their costs, the pre- accent value for your car, and they'll write you a big fat check. And best of all, it's not going to cost you a penny because they charge the at-fault insurance. That's what they do. If it's not your fault, don't go through your insurance company. Don't use your no claims bonus. Go to G4 Claims. They don't cold call you. They don't buy data. And once you've processed your claim, your insurance, it's remaining unscathed. And the best thing is Nicole and the team over there, they won't take your case on if they don't think they can help. So, if you've been in a road traffic accident or you know somebody that has, get on to G4 Claims on 01698167172. That's 01698767172. Get them at notfaultclaim.com, or you can find them on social media at G4 Claims Limited. G4 Claims, not at fault claims.
Made easy.
Let's start the show.
It's the Football Daft open line where anything goes. Would you like to talk about Frimpong's move to Leverkusen? Maybe you're a high bay completely agent at the League Cup semi, or perhaps you want Grado's recipe for roast chicken, which you did on the weekend there. What did you put in it, Grado?
Well, it's chorizo stuffed chicken. Chorizo. What?
Chorizo stuffed chicken.
Chorizo stuffed chicken, and it was cannellini beans. Cannellini beans. Cannellini beans, thank you, Phil. Basically, just type into Google Gordon Ramsay chorizo stuffed chicken.
I'm going to tell you something, mate. That was as impressive a photograph. Yeah, a meal that one of my mates has cooked as I've ever seen.
But there you go. You might want to ask Grado about his cooking tips and get cooking tips for Grado. You can remember that for next week. But let's charge on with the open line in the company of Stephen Cavins, Graham Goody and Chris Delahunt, and go to our first caller, who is Ian Milne, who has been on before, and his middle name is McCoist, believe it or not.
How you doing,
I've got my Football Daft t-shirt on. I'm good, yeah?
Hey,
Good,
that's a
mate,
cracking
good.
t-shirt, mate.
Loving it.
I know,
Nice,
I wonder
mate.
where I got
I know. John, do you know any about this?
Yeah, you can get Football Daft merchandise if you want. Let's get the plug in there. shop.spreadshirt.co.uk/Football Daft. You can get Football Daft t-shirts and all manner of merchandise up there. So there you go.
But don't buy anything until we renegotiate our contract so that we get a fucking slice of that action. All right, lads.
There you go. Ian, you're on the open line. What would you like to put to the panel?
Right, I've got a question for the three each of you. I'm going to go for Chris first. Chris, what do you think of the current goalkeeper situation at Celtic? I'm like, obviously, just before the Old Firm game there, Barkas wasn't in the team. I think it was Hazard that was the goalkeeper. And eventually, just before the game, it was the game just before the Old Firm game, he brought Barkas back and says that he's the number one. And now he's at the team again and brought in Scott Bain. So, but I don't think he actually knows who his number one is, eh?
Listen, I don't think the guy knows his arsehole for his ear hole, and I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think he knows what the hell's going on. That, like you said, Barkas brought in, he's our number one. Fucking then flip of the coin and Scott Bain's the number one. Something's happened.
That was surprising to last night, I think. Because it was just, it felt, because as you said, I don't know, was it last week Lennon said he's my number one, we need to give him time, and then suddenly he's like,
I don't know, I don't know if any of you know, I don't know why he's would know, but does Barkas speak English? Because I think there might be some sort of problem with the communication with the defence, especially with that first goal against Livingston. It was...
But surely
the language of football, man.
That's
it
what
must
I'm
be
thinking.
like,
Like, come on,
you know what I mean? It's like,
you're a goalie. It's fucking mine. You know what it's fucking. Keep
I think at the end of the day, the Barkas situation, there sometimes just comes a player you sign and it's just not working out. I just think the bottom line is it's just another kind of unfortunate set of circumstances. Celtic have paid $5 million for him. He's come in. He's no hit the ground running. He's no settling. He doesn't look comfortable. He looks like a rabbit in headlights.
He doesn't look like a goalie.
It's just one.
No,
he doesn't.
It doesn't. And do you know what? There was a wee kind of graphic put out by somebody that should remain nameless, and it was about all the stats for Barkas fee signed for Celtic,
Aye.
and like this year he's no made a save.
Aye. I genuinely can't see him. I've no seen I can't think of any time he saved the ball.
But see, the thing is, Grado, I was watching the game last night, right?
Mhm.
And Peter Martin is commentating on the Celtic games
I
now for
noticed
some
that, aye.
reason. And they said that Scott Bain, throughout his entire Celtic career, has only had one clean sheet.
Really?
Now, what about that for a statistic for
That
a
is a
Celtic
statistic
goalie?
too.
I actually think he's not that bad a keeper either, Scott
He's
Bain.
Because I
I think
remember-
He's not a bad shot
good with the ball.
stopper.
He's good with the ball. His feet. I know. He's
Just what
his
you're looking for with a
distribution's good.
goalie.
Because he played.
Well, that's this day and age, mate. I mean, a lot starts for the
Yeah,
back.
I know, mate.
Did he not play Rangers in his first game?
Aye,
And
but
he
he conceded 2 goals, but he had a great game that day.
Aye, he did have a great game, didn't he? I remember that.
Aye.
What's your question for Grado, Ian?
But what is your favourite sandwich filler apart from?
Oh, now that's a top question, Ian. Top question.
Grado, you
Oh,
know mine, my man.
Oh, by the way, Toll's good at giving you piece suggestions as well, right?
Aye.
However, Toll, did I send you the picture of my coronation chicken for the other day?
You did.
I look nice.
Right, this is my right. Listen to this, right, Ian. This is because just before you come on, we were talking about how I cooked a roast chicken stuffed with chorizo. Now, what I did with the leftover chicken was I got a bowl, picked the chicken off it, put it in the bowl. I got yogurt, mayonnaise, mango chutney. Is it mango chutney? Mango chutney,
Aye.
right? And a wee bit of chili powder. You mix it up with the chicken, stir it in, and then use it as a coronation chicken, and it was superb. And you can what I like to do with coronation chicken? Put prawn cocktail crisps on the coronation chicken.
That
Plenty
does
of
sound
lure pack. But I will suggest Tolls. What was yours again? Salt and vinegar. Cheese and onion, salt and vinegar.
Cheese and onion squares. And
Cheese and onion squares
on a roll.
on a roll. But we're using Dairy. Did you not say that? Dairy?
Aye, Dairy Lee, sorry.
What's your
Dairy.
favourite sandwich while you're on in?
Probably like an egg and ming.
Get in there,
Wait a minute, what is eggy ming? What is that?
Well, my mum said it once. Eggy ming piece. It's basically egg mayonnaise.
Right.
Plenty of the egg, the mayonnaise, plenty of salt.
Tell me this one, do you put paprika through it?
No, I've never done that. Because that's a gimmick in it with eggs in it. They put smoked paprika on it with it. What do you call the eggs?
Deviled eggs.
Deviled eggs. So there you go, mate. Coronation chicken homemade. Bob, can
That'd
you
be
look
nice.
any more disinterested?
What?
Fuck, man, I'm telling you my fucking coronation chicken recipe.
Mate, I listen to your recipes.
Cheeky bastard.
Right,
what's
Ian,
his
what you got
best
for
one?
Stephen?
And the last one for Stephen. Stephen, I'm aware that Shell Suit Bob, is he a Celtic fan, the character Shell
Yes.
Suit Bob?
Yes.
When did you find out this and what was your reaction to it
It's a
when you
great
found out that
question.
your character was going to be a Celtic fan?
I found out probably, we started filming 2002. It was probably that towards the end of the first series when my mate came in as a writer for the show, Mark McCarty, who's now the boss at our BBC Studios. He's a big
Yeah.
Celtic man. He made the character, he wanted some more football stuff in it. He knew I was a big Rangers fan, and he specifically wrote that my character was a Celtic fan. And I was in a coma. And there was a scene that he wrote. I was in a coma, and they put a Celtic scarf at the top of my bed and put Celtic buff.
No, I
on my
thought you were
host
going
bed.
to say there, mate. I
absolutely.
thought you were going
They
to say
put,
that
they put rosary beads as well.
you were in a coma, and in your coma you dreamt that you scored the winning goal for Celtic against Rangers or something.
Did
Should have
you
done
know-
that.
Did you know years ago, I remember you saying on River City, oh, I just like the King of Kings, Henrik
Oh,
Larsson.
King of Kings, Henrik Larsson.
You said that,
in,
didn't you?
in my garage, there's every series we go back, so I always have a break in filming. Every series we go back, new things pop up in my garage and in my house and all that. So Bob's now got a Celtics #1 fan mug. He's got a portrait of Henrik Larsson up in his garage. So
Brilliant.
You need to get Shane Duffy up there.
aye. You know what, mate? I suffer for my art, but do you know what? I just go home, mate.
Do you know what, Stevie? If nothing else, it shows how good an actor you are, my man.
Very versatile. Very
Stephen
versatile.
Purden for a BAFTA for that
Exactly.
acting performance. I have
I've
to
got
say.
one, mate. I've already got one. It's on my water.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
But it's just-
Ian, thank you very much for
Winner.
coming again. Let's move on to our next court. It's Billy Stevenson.
How you doing, Billy?
All right, how you doing?
Good, mate. Good.
Welcome to
Right.
the open line, Billy. You're through to the panel. What would you like to say?
Oh, hold on now. You've probably had this 100 times, but you're the double of Keith Lemon.
If he shaved his head, maybe aye.
No, obviously apart from the baldy head, aye. But do you know how
You were on Rangers Daft, weren't you, Billy?
I was in Rangers Daft, aye.
Aye, that's right.
You're good on that. You're good on that, so you are. Oh, come on, man, John.
John, you might be driving
the host of this.
Okay, hold on. So, you're through to the panel, Billy. You've been on Rangers Daft before. What would you like to say to the boys?
So my question is, in the last 20 years, what ex-player would you want in your current team today? And what player wouldn't you want?
Well, there's plenty of them.
What player I would want for the past 20 years? What players I wouldn't want?
Wouldn't you want? I can answer Darren McGregor.
I wouldn't want Ian Black back in the team.
For
the
me,
past 20 years.
Yeah, last 20 years. You're talking the Avacat area after that.
Are you only asking me two, man? We're getting a shot at this.
Well, say to ex-player.
All right, I'll go for Henrik Larsson then.
You need a goalkeeper, Chris. No,
I know. You need Boric.
Oh, do you mean right? What player would we have in the team now? Bobo Baldi.
See, I think this is a hard one. I think for us because we're so organised, and you think who would do better? I don't think there's a better right back. I don't think there's better left. I don't think.
I'm going to go with Barry Ferguson.
Do you need midfielders though, Stephen?
Well, I don't know. I'm thinking a winger.
What are you talking about? Barry Ferguson walks into any fucking Rangers team ever.
But nah, I was going to say Neil McCann. Nah.
You've got fucking Ronald De Boer, Frank De Boer, fucking all these people, and Lorenzo Amoruso, folk like that. You know, all right, he's doing all right in defence, but again, Amoruso's 100 times the player that fucking Goldson or Big Helander is.
Don't know about that, mate. It's,
Toe. You've had your shot. Just you. It's your shot.
Sorry.
That's a very good question.
That's a good question. Right, Ian Black, I don't want. Right.
Listen, I don't have any specific one. I only said Darren McGregor because we were playing him last night. I'm just saying that because as I was saying that last night, I was giving all that. How you ever play with Rangers and this shit? There's too many that give me the fear. There's just some players that you think of your Cardosos and all that. I went back and watched the Motherwell semi-final and he got his nose broken, and it was just giving me the fear looking at the folk that were in the park. However,
I'm still going to say Barry Ferguson. I would like to see, because I liked it when Fergie and Davis played with each other. I'm going to say Barry Ferguson.
Wait, easy now.
Maybe Jelavic.
Oh, that's a good shout.
Jelavic. I'm going for Jelavic.
What were you, Billy?
My player, Michael Moles.
Good shout.
Good shout.
Michael Moles. And one player I wouldn't want. There's that many, man, but Franz Jeffers.
Franny Jeffers. Ever we signed him, man? What a fucking anticlimax that was, man. Franny Jeffers, man.
He never scored, didn't he? No.
Fox in the box. I don't think your cunt was in the box at any point in his Rangers career, was he?
Did two of you answer two you wouldn't bring back?
Evander Snow. See you later, Evander. Off you go, son. No, in fact, you know what? I'm going to change that. Willow Flood.
Right, Billy, cheers, mate. Good questions, mate. I'll just keep driving this because John's like a mute today, man.
I know, man.
See you later on, my man.
Right, see you later.
Right, see you guys.
Bye. See you later, Billy.
So that's it for this week's open line. If you want to come on next week, best bet is get signed up to Patreon, patreon.com/Football Daft, or get on our Twitter and maybe you want to ask Grado about more recipes.
Football Daft's big question.
There's been some cracking football celebrations. We're going for Roger Mia's wee fucking samba dance in the corner at Italian 98. Jurgen Klinsmann skating along the fucking pitch like a man possessed after being accused of being a diver. Right, so what's the best football celebration that you have seen, lads?
Right. Mine's isn't a player, it's a collective effort.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
And it was when my team, Glasgow Rangers, 1999, done the huddle on the pitch at Celtic Park. That's my favourite celebration.
That wasn't a damn it says football celebration.
I mean, but that could have easily been slotted in last week. It was shithousery, couldn't it have?
Aye, could have been.
Since you've went that way, I'm going to say, smell the glove.
What was that?
Rangers beat Celtic at Parkhead once, and the story supposedly goes that Andy Gorham farted into his glove and chucked it into the Celtic dressing room and said, "Smell the glove that won the league."
Did Gorham not talk about it on the show?
I can't remember. I can't remember. I wasn't listening.
Mate, I think there's still a
it's a bit of a myth.
A spray paint at Rugby Park. There was, I don't know if it's still there, but it was there for years. There was a smell the glove bit of graffiti.
Surely they've gave it a lick of paint since then, Grado.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
If nothing else, Chris Boyd would have went out with a tub of Dulux and sorted that out, would he know?
What about you, Grado?
My favourite celebration has got to be when Chris Boyd beat Henrik Larsson's goal scoring record, because I think did he score 3 or 4 goals that night, or did he score 5? I think he scored 5.
And he's run
7-1 or 7-2, and he done the Larsson celebration. And what made it even better as well, the Tannoy guy, I think the goal song at the time was probably something like One Step Beyond or whatever. But when he nailed the record, he played the guy played the
One Step Beyond,
and then he played the song and he done the celebration, and I loved that. It was a great night that against Dundee United. Bugera scored an absolute fucking amazing.
Mate, it was like a pure solo he ran for his own Hoffman right through. Mate, you actually went pure warm there when you were talking about that, mate. You were all like happy and all that.
It was like because they played
that was pure infectious the way you told that story there.
You like that?
Aye. Can we do it again?
Aye, anyway, so the fucking punters have been in with you. some suggestions for this one. We've got John Monroe. Now, you're going to need to forgive me.
In relation to Terry?
John Monroe. He's going to
need to forgive me because I know the tune that he's talking about, but for the life of me, I can't remember how it goes.
Saturday Night Dance.
That's it.
Scotty Arfield.
No, it doesn't say Scotty Arfield, all right?
But actually, I know that song, mate. I know that. We've sang that, but Scotty Arfield for years.
Wickfield would be turning in her fucking grave.
Right, anyway. Jimmy says maybe not the best, but probably the funniest was Kitspire for Newcastle when he went a bit crazy and started putting advertising boards.
I remember that one. He knocked fuck out the fucking advertising boards.
I love that one.
Was that against Leicester, wasn't it?
Can't remember who it was against.
Think so.
Fucking bonkers. Spearsy says this fishing one in Iceland.
Oh, I remember that. Remember the guy cast the rod and the player that scored the goal was flipping about like a fish. And
then they hold him.
And then they pick him up and hold him. That was brilliant, man.
Right.
Remember that team played Motherwell in Europe, remember? And did they not do one where they built a big toilet out of players? They built a big toilet out of players, remember? And they
somebody had a shit.
Aye, somebody done a shite on it. That's brilliant, man. The next one we've got is Spears Badingi. He says Marco Tardelli at the World Cup final.
Brilliant.
Iconic. Absolutely iconic.
I'm laughing, right, because the way the guys worded this one, Louis, he said Craig Beattie running halfway around the Hampden track after scoring against Celtic like a fan who just won a competition to take a winning penalty for your team. Looked like a regular fan too, only with worse physique. Not even a Hearts fan, but still makes me laugh. Remember?
That was funny.
It's like he didn't look right, didn't he? No, he looked like it was like the penalty competitions at half time or something, and he'd scored a goal. Do you know what I mean?
Wasn't even a fucking penalty either. Any of you remember 1994 World Cup? Remember
USA?
Bebeto scored the goal and he done the cradle, and then everybody that's ever had a Wayne since has copied him.
John says South Africa goal celebration with the dancing at the World Cup. Wasn't that just great?
Bobby Fowler pretending the lines were coke. There we go.
That was a good one. But do you know, there was another one as well, and it was the Hull one. Remember the Hull one?
Oh, Jimmy Bullard.
When they were
after Phil Brown had gave them one to.
They were ripping the piss out of. That was a topper.
That's probably the best one.
No, my favourite one ever was Adebayor scoring for Man City against Arsenal.
Running off right down the pitch.
Running all
against
the way
Arsenal.
along the pitch to
And all you
celebrate
seen
in
was
front
like
of
fucking
the Arsenal
cans
fans.
and all
That
that.
was mental. That was mental.
That
Yeah,
was top shithousery.
That was.
Glasgow lockdown. We need to read it
Aye, we've already heard this one.
Aye.
He basically says Boyd beating Larson's goal scoring record and stealing this celebration with his tongue out was a bit of shithousery. There we go. It was against Dundee United or when Grado when he scored in the charity game. Oh wait.
Oh wait.
Man. Just come up with a big question every week, doesn't it?
I know.
It is the player playoff with piesports.com. Your chance to win pies every week on Football Daft. Pie Sports, if you don't know what they do, they're basically their website where you can go on, you can get pies in for the football. They have a range of different pies up there in different packages. You can get Bovril with it, so you can bring the real taste of football to your home while you're watching the games over the weekend. Get them at piesports.com or give them a call on 0141 739 9999. They'll deliver free of charge to certain postcodes across Scotland, and if you get your order in, you can get them there for the games on a Friday or a Saturday. So to win a package from Pie Sports, we play this game, and on to play today, it's Ali. How you doing, Ali?
How you doing, Ali?
I'm fine, mate.
You've been on before, Ali?
I was on Rangers Daft.
I thought that actually. I mean, you were talking about Rangers.
Was that? I don't think I was on.
She's rapidly becoming Rangers Daft. I'm fucking sitting on, by the way.
Don't worry, Chris. We've got Niall McGinn coming on the show later on, so we'll even it up then. Ali, who would you like to play?
I don't know. I'm between Grado or Toll or Stephen. Any one of them, actually, man. But...
Right, okay, I'm pulling out a name. Let's see who's playing this week. You are going to be up against, it's the second week running for Stephen Purden. Let's see if we can get a Rangers player this week.
That was bad last week, man. My mind goes a blank in this, man.
There we go. So this week,
better just I'll give him the pies you know, mate.
This week, gents, we're heading back to the 2000-2001 season. Chris, I'm sure you had good memories of that one.
Yes, 3 good memories that season.
Yes, and
there you go, mate.
Larson won Player of the Year and Petrov won Young Player of the Year this week, and of course it was Martin O'Neill's first season in charge where Celtic won the treble. Not so many good memories for you guys, Stephen and Grado.
No.
You hammered us 5-1.
Aye, but I remember the fucking 6-2 game at Parkhead. I just bought a new Thomas Burberry jacket, man. Fucking in a rage. Fucking slammed my mate's fence walking out the house and caught my Burberry jacket and ripped it and everything, man.
No way.
I watched that 6-2 game in a house full of Celtic fans.
I watched it in a stadium full of Celtic fans.
Well, we're heading back to that season, boys. I've got some players for you here. What's the person going to be, Stephen?
Live it up.
Live it up. Ali, what's your buzzer going to be?
55.
55. Chris is loving it this week. There we go. Right, okay, first.
You're lucky you're not playing me, you bastard. That's all I'll say.
Right, first player out then. You ready?
Yes.
Yep.
This Belgian centre-half joined Celtic in this season from Roda JC for an undisclosed fee.
Live it up.
Stephen Purden.
Just for Haran.
Right.
Well done, 1-0.
Oh, Bobby.
Know the Celtic players better than you know the Rangers players, Stephen.
Just go on, mate, John, please.
Aye.
I was very stressed. Last week was a very stressful day.
Right, okay.
Very stressful day.
Sorry. Right, next player out. Come on, Ali, you can do this. This was the last season for this striker in the Kilmarnock jersey after joining the club in 1995.
Live it up.
55.
Stephen first.
No, I fucked it.
It's gone. Right, Ali, I'll give it to you.
I think I've fucked it. I know. I think I just said at the end what you just said, but I was going to say McCoist.
So was I.
It's wrong. I'll continue. I tell you what, since you both came in at the same time, we'll continue with this one. In that time, he scored around 60 league goals and made 150 appearances for Kelly, most notably scoring the winning goal in the 1996.
55.
Oh, I know that.
Ali.
Paul Wright.
It is Paul Wright, 1-1.
Who managed? For a bonus question, which junior team did he manage?
The Buffs.
Correct.
The Buffs.
There we go.
I was diving right in with McCoist, man, then you said 95. I was like, fuck.
I know, that's what I heard, and I was just
because I was thinking Ian Durant.
This could be the decider. Whoever
Did you say
gets this
striker?
wins the pies. Right, you ready?
What a sentence.
This forward was signed by Dundee United in this season from Oxford. Having previously made over 200 appearances for Morton before a move to Leeds, he returned to Scotland under Alex Smith.
Ooh.
A debut goal savaged a point at home to Rangers, although he would be sent off in his second game against former club Hearts. Who is that player? Blast from the past, legends down Morton way.
Oh,
Chris, you'll know this one because he played for Leeds.
Can't fucking remember his name, but
I don't think he got a Scotland cap, but he was on
Bob, don't Google it, mate. I can see the reflection coming off your face.
I'm no. Do you want to see what I'm googling? I'm not googling in. My missus is fucking text me saying you're doing interviews.
Right, he's ready. Well, I'll just give it to you, yeah, because it doesn't look like any he's going to get it.
Paul something on it.
No, Derek Lilly.
Oh my god.
Derek Lilly.
I wouldn't have got that.
These are both Rangers supporters, so it's going to be the fastest one in here. Are you ready?
Yeah.
This was to be this striker's last season in a Rangers jersey. In his first season, he won the domestic treble, finishing as top scorer with 27 goals.
55.
Ali.
Oh, fuck. Rod Wallace.
It is Rod Wallace.
Well done, mate. Well done, mate.
Got in there. Brilliant. Well done, Ali. You win the pies courtesy of piesports.com where you can get your pies for match day. Thanks for coming on.
Well done, Ali.
Well done, mate. All the best, bud. Take care, mate.
Now let's welcome the podcast, Football Daft. It's a man, he's made 300 appearances, over 300 appearances for Aberdeen after moving there for Celtic. After a brief spell in South Korea, he returned to the Dons where he still plays. It's Niall McGinn.
How you doing,
Welcome,
Niall?
mate.
Thanks for having me, guys. Thanks for having me.
What's been happening? What's the goss?
All squad as you can possibly imagine, but we're just quite fortunate that we're still able to train and play, which is good. So I'm more than happy at that.
Is it enough of carry on, or is it enjoyable? I've spoke to some players, and they obviously they're relieved that they get to play, but they feel it's just not the same. But you've just got to go on with it, innit?
Yeah, no, it's, to be honest, it's definitely not the same. Like for me personally, like I just love playing in front of fans. I love going to intimidating atmospheres, grounds, such as obviously Ibrox and Hearts and stuff. I enjoy that, and I think players enjoy that as well. They get an extra sort of maybe 10% in their locker, but it's one of those ones you have to like say you're really enjoying it because we're still able to do it, which we are enjoying, but it's still not the same enjoyment as obviously having fans, etc., and just having your normal life.
I know, and I suppose as well, all eyes are on football players as well, aren't they? Like, it's everywhere, and it feels as if there's a lot of fans out there that are trying to catch football players out with the rules and stuff like that. So that's an added stress.
Ronaldo's been pulled up today, apparently.
Is it?
He went on a ski trip to
He went on a skiing trip, and he's been investigated by the police in Italy.
Woofed.
Crazy.
Aye.
But it's one of the ones like no fans there, as Grado saying now. I mean, like Aberdeen, the forms were a bit hot and cold. Do you think no fans there has been a hindrance to you, mate? Or do you think, I don't know, what do you think? Do you think that's part of the kind of inconsistent form now and again Aberdeen have had there the past few weeks?
No, I think that's because I'm not playing.
There you go, Mr. McInnes. There's an exclusive there. If you're listening, we've heard it now. McGinn not playing is why your form is hot and cold. Hey, I think, I'm not saying that, I'm not blowing smoke up your arse, right? Rangers playing Aberdeen, honestly, you're one of the names I look for and go, you always can cause a bit of bother. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's the deal there? How have you been not been in the team as much? Is there any reason?
What have you done?
Aye.
You got a ski trip?
I'm still waiting to find out as well. But no, the thing is, it's as a professional footballer, you just take it on the chin. But it is very frustrating. I think, especially this season. I think since I've been to Aberdeen, I've probably been one of the most consistent players there. With considering like I've scored maybe 84 goals or something for Aberdeen, and I've contributed. I've always tried and set myself targets every year of double figures, especially being sort of a wide player, number 10, and obviously creating assists. And I've always been high with assists over so many years. And you talk about Rangers stuff. It's games that I want to be involved in. I remember like when obviously Rangers came to Pittodrie and we drew one each in a cup game, and they were buzzing with obviously the replay to go back to Ibrox, and we end up going down there in the cup game and we beat them 2-0. I scored the first goal after a few minutes, and the score at Ibrox was massive for me. It's something I've always dreamed of doing, and like I've always like enjoyed going to like Ibrox, and I've always like for me, I've been quite lucky over the stint that I've been at Aberdeen. We've always done well at Ibrox. More often than not, we've obviously had a few bad results, but I think I've won there 3 or 4 times, which is not many sort of players and sort of teams can say they've done that, if you know what I mean. So I just have to be patient. Don't get me wrong. There's obviously been other players who've come in and done well, but I still feel I've definitely a lot to give. It's just I'm like any player, young or old. You always need a run of games, and I haven't got that this season, and that's obviously been down to the manager making his decision, and you obviously have your opinions, he has his, but I definitely feel that I should be playing.
Right. What's McInnes like? Derek McInnes to play? Like, what's he like to play under? What's his training and stuff like?
No, regarding him as a manager, I think he's definitely up there with sort of one of the best managers regarding of his just sort of his research and his build up to every team. He treats every team the same. His detail that he goes into regarding opposition is second to none. And now we'll work hard in the training ground on do a lot of 11v11 stuff. We do a lot of shape and different things, and that's shown like over the years with how consistent we have been of constantly getting into Europe, constantly getting the semi-finals, finals, winning that trophy early on in his stint. And now he's got a good backroom staff there as well, and he's been very, very lucky, I think, over the course of so many years. We've always had good players. Once good players have left, he's brought good players in, and I think probably one of my favourite teams when we're sort of, I think it was the year, I think Rogic scored at Kilmarnock. I think it was that year that we were really pushing Celtic. Rogic scored the winner and we slipped up with Motherwell, and I felt that year that we should have probably kicked on, because I remember the midfield we had with Ryan Jack, Graham Shinney and Kenny McLean, and then with a front three of myself, Rooney and Johnny Hayes, and we were brilliant that season, but we probably sort of underachieved, but at the same time we've obviously come up against these good Celtic teams that you obviously can't complain about.
Like, I was thinking there when you were saying that now, when like Rangers weren't in the Premier League and like you were pushing Celtic, have you got some regrets where you think we should have won the league that year? Is there any regrets where you sit and go, we let Celtic go for the hook a wee bit that season?
I think sort of in-house you have obviously different targets and stuff, and I think us as a group of players, we knew we were capable of pushing Celtic. Like, being realistic, you think like obviously it gets to a stage where I think it happens most year. You just try and stay as close to them as long as possible, and if you stay close to them most of the season, anything can happen. But you just sort of financially, the players, the big squads that they have, they always sort of kick on, and it is hard to compete against obviously Celtic and Rangers as it is now. And actually, I think that season definitely we should have ran them a lot closer than what we did with sort of the squad of players we had, and it was just getting that consistency.
Aye. Great players. Scott Wright being one of them. What's the crack with him? Has he been chucked out your WhatsApp group yet?
He's still there. He's
hanging on.
What was the last thing he sent?
He's got another one, but when he's all talk about him.
Group sissy's a new group.
We'll definitely be talking about him when he leaves us for sure, especially when he. Now look, he was my boot. He was my boot boy when he first sort of came in around the development and like sort of coming into the squad. But he what he call it. He's a good lad, and it's good to see how sort of well he's progressed as a player. And Rangers are getting an exciting talent there, so it's one that for him personally, you're hoping he just kicks on and he sort of stays injury free. Uses this season for his experience, because this is the first season he's got where he's played every week, if you know what I mean.
Aye.
There is improvement there, of course there is. He needs to add goals to this game. He needs to add assists to this game, and for him personally, hopefully he can do that when he goes to Rangers, but obviously not against Aberdeen.
Aye, Niall, just you and the boys go easy on him in training and stuff, mate. Just watch what you're doing. All right, mate.
High tackles from now on.
I don't tackle. It's just your big Constantines and Taylors and stuff. Maybe might smash him around.
Just get them tailed. The Grado's fucking.
Yeah. Hopefully the ink's dry, so you'll be all right.
So, mate, is it true you played under Uwe Rosler as well?
Yeah, I played under that madman at Brentford, yeah.
I was going to say, what was he like? He's a bit of a character, isn't he?
I liked him, I really liked him, but he was a type of character. He was like, train how you play, so he was. But it was a phone call. I was obviously disappointed at the time, because I came back at international games and Celtic were heading out to, I think it was America or Australia or something, on a training camp, and Lenny And he said to me, look, you're not coming. Well, I want you to sort of stay here and maybe take a rest. You've been away with internationals. But I knew deep down, like, he didn't want me to go. He maybe wanted to push me out on loan. So that was it. He pushed me out on loan. But it's probably the best thing I did. I ended up playing like 38 odd games that season. And it really stood me in good stead sort of moving forward. But Rui Rosler, he was a good man. He was very intense on the sidelines. And as I said earlier, he was like, train how you play. And you had to wear shin pads every day in training. Like, he made us wear shin pads every day in training, as well as obviously games and stuff. But no, it was good. And I think sort of going forward, when I've started my coaching badges and obviously becoming a manager, I think I've played under different and unique managers, and obviously good managers as well. I can sort of take a wee bit from each manager, definitely.
Did you play under Archie Knox?
I played under him.
Oh, right. You need to ask a question, Grado. You need to ask a question.
I was my first season, but I was listening to Mark Randall's podcast, and he was telling the story when he was around the changing room.
Well, what were you? Were you spunk or shite bag?
I don't know if I was. No, I was probably that first season. Like, it's the only ever season I played as a striker. I remember my agent phoned me up one day and he said, Craig Brown, he's flying over to Ireland here. He's going to look at a player. Would you like to come along? I was out of contract at this time, and I said, yeah, no problem. So he picked Craig Brown up at the airport, out to my agent Jerry Carlisle's house. He's a mad Celtic fan, isn't he? So back to his house, drove down to Dublin to watch this striker, and I was grand. The game was going fine, and I was just sort of sitting there, and Craig Brown sort of leant into Jerry. Says, like, what's the situation with Niall? He's like, he's out of contract and stuff, and he's like, I'd be quite keen. And I was grand. Craig Brown was sitting in the back of the car, heading up the road. I was in the front seat. He was sitting in the back eating his wee cheese and onion, Tato crisp, I remember it, and he was drinking his wee Pepsi, and he even allowed me to sit in the front of the car, and he leant into me and says, like, how do you feel about coming to Aberdeen? I said, like, I would love to. Like, it's obviously a massive club, and I've played in Scotland. I sort of know the Scottish game. And he said, yeah, but how do you feel about coming to Aberdeen, like, playing as a striker? And I said, why not? Like, he said, look, I've seen your sort of career. I know you're fast, you're tricky, you play on the wing, but you've got attributes there. I think you could be a striker. So Craig Brown brought me in as a striker in that first season. And team-wise, it probably wasn't great, but for me personally, it was just an unbelievable season because I scored 21 goals that season. I was up for Player of the Year, and it was just a great season for me personally. So for him to see me as a striker was just credit to him to bring me in and sort of get my career back on track again. But Archie Knox, he was brilliant. Like, when I moved to Aberdeen, I ended up living in an apartment block where I was on the third floor, Craig Brown was on the second floor, and Archie Knox was on the top floor. So I definitely had to be on my best behaviour, that's for sure.
Did you see Craig Brown sitting eating his crisps and his can of Pepsi go like that? There's that Niall about again, Archie, get him!
I was obviously single, and I don't know whether there was more girls coming to my house or Craig Brown's house.
So now we know who the top shagger was, basically. Is what you're saying,
That's your top shagger, Craig Brown.
That's amazing, man. That's 9. Is it 9 years you've been at Aberdeen?
Yeah, I signed in the 2012-2013 season, January. So I think it was, No, it started the season 2012-2013 season.
Any whispers about a testimonial?
Aye.
There was talk sort of in the last contract, but it was sort of like agreement more than anything. But obviously with COVID and stuff, it's just obviously all in the back burner at the moment.
So. You're looking at a testimonial when there's no fans there, man. What's the point?
No,
do you know what I mean?
I'd love a testimonial, but we'll wait and see. We just need to see what happens after the season and sort of moving forward.
But how does it work, testimonials? Is it just all the profits for the gate goes to the player? Is that the deal?
But I think the tradition now is that they give it to charity.
Right. Is it?
Depends if you're like a Wayne Rooney or something, or maybe Niall McGinn who's played in Scotland. Maybe a wee bit going to charity, but a lot of it will be going to maybe a new house.
Quite right, mate.
Up the stair for Craig Brown again.
He can have the wee granny pad outside so he can.
That's funny, man.
So Niall, looking back, were you a Celtic fan growing up? Obviously.
To be honest, I was like, I think it's growing up as any young sort of Irish lad. I think it's always Celtic or Rangers. You'll always have your English team. So I was sort of following Man United. My dad and my brother were always Liverpool fans, so I just wanted to be different. and yeah, I was sort of Man United growing up. But regarding Celtic, like obviously, I was an Irish Catholic boy going to an all Irish Catholic school playing Gaelic football. I was very sporty and stuff, and I just like I did follow Celtic. I remember I went to games when I was younger, but it was always very intimidating. Obviously, going to games back then, like I would travel on the boats and stuff, and you used to have to hide your Celtic top. You couldn't show colours because obviously Rangers fans on the boat as well, especially Old Firm games and stuff. And I remember my first Old Firm game when Alan Thompson scored the winner at Celtic Park, and he scored an exact same goal that I scored my first goal into, which was just an unbelievable feeling, believable moment for me personally. And obviously, like it's crazy. Like now, when you look back on it, when you're growing up as a young boy, that like it's any young boy's dream, obviously, to become a professional footballer. But you actually do become a professional footballer, and you play for obviously one of the biggest clubs in the world. It's just sensational, to be honest.
So who was the manager of Celtic then when you were there? Was it? So
I sort of signed as sort of a development player under Gordon Strachan, and then I was under Tony Mowbray when he first came in, because I remember I was there for about 4 or 5 months, and I just remember when Tony Mowbray came in, I just thought to myself, look, just have a really good pre-season here, and who knows what can happen. And I remember sitting at home on a Friday night. It was the Wembley Cup at the time. Celtic had played on the Friday night, and then we're playing Tottenham on the Saturday. I got the phone call on Friday night to say, look, you need to jump on a plane here. You're coming down to play the feature in the Tottenham game. And I was absolutely buzzing. So to make my debut at Wembley against Tottenham for Celtic was brilliant. And then I think a few weeks later we played at the Etihad against Manchester City. And then as time went on, when I actually made my competitive debut against Dundee United, it was just a wee bit surreal. Like, because I was going playing in front of like 80 people at Dungannon Swiss, to go into Derry City playing in front of maybe 2,000, 3,000 people at the most, to make my competitive debut in front of 60,000 people at Celtic Park. And I was all in a space of about 18 months where it was just like a whirlwind. It's just my world just sort of went from strength to strength, making my international debut. Everything just happened so quickly, which was crazy, you know. So, I wouldn't change it for the world, that's for sure.
You like staying in Aberdeen?
Yeah, it's a good city. I love Glasgow, to be honest. I love Glasgow. It just felt like, I think there's that sort of, I don't know, I just find people in Glasgow are quite similar to people back home. They're very friendly, easy to get on with, a bit of crack, bit of banter. And I was always fine. Like, I always get on with everyone, do you know what I mean? Obviously, you get a wee bit of grief off small
parcel, isn't it?
Because I was playing for Northern Ireland, and most Northern Ireland fans are obviously Rangers fans, you know what I mean? So I was fine in that sense. But Aberdeen, good city, nice people, good place to live, just nothing to do. But Glasgow was close to home, and there's plenty to do.
Aye. It's why the bands and there's none to do anywhere now, but no.
I know.
Happy Sitting Day podcast, know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you think this season then now? What do you think with Aberdeen? Do you think, I mean, there's no much of a gap there now between Aberdeen and Celtic. What do you think? Do you think you could catch them for second place?
It's just...
I'm being serious.
No, you're not.
You're wanting us to catch Celtic because you're...
Of course I do, mate. Of course I do.
You're wanting us to catch Celtic.
Grado's laughing because he said, do you think you can catch Celtic for second place, as if Rangers have already won the league? You know what I mean? That's what he's laughing at.
Listen,
pair of scumbags.
No,
pair of scumbags now.
A huge grin on his face when he says that's for sure.
Grado's laughing because he thinks I'm taking a pop at Toll again. Do you know what I mean?
I am that, man. That's why you told sitting up there crabbit, man.
I am no crabbit, you sure?
Yeah.
Hey, listen,
it's a serious question. It's a serious question. You've still to play Celtic twice, haven't you?
I think I had a team meeting there the other day, and I think these next block of games are very important because Livingston are absolutely flying. So we play Livingston. We play Livingston Saturday. We play Livingston Tuesday, and then we play Hibs away, and then we've got Celtic twice. So these next block of 5 games they'll probably make or break our season. If I'm being honest, I think regarding obviously. We always try and stay in touch with the old firm for as long as possible. Obviously, Rangers are running away with it at the moment. They've been brilliant this season, to be honest. And looking sort of from the outside in, like Celtic sort of haven't been like obviously firing all cylinders, and even sort of watching myself personally, like watching Celtic and watching Rangers, I think there is that difference. I just think Rangers, they've just been so consistent this year, and even when they haven't played great, they're still getting over the line. And I think that was a big difference probably to what they were last year and the year before. when games that they didn't play well, they maybe lost them games or went behind. And
Aye.
I think this year, even when they haven't played great, they've still always managed to go over the line. But regarding us, we just gotta each game as it comes, and we know obviously Celtic, they've got a massive squad, and they will want to finish the season between now and the end of the season strongly, and it will be difficult for us to sort of keep in touch. But we'll have to be confident, and if we just concentrate and if we keep giving up these sort of losing 2 points in all these like games where we're drawn and stuff.
Ross County, man, what happened there?
I didn't play. It was funny. We were just walking out, and the gaffer's behind me. Like it was like 30 seconds into the game. Like we weren't even sat down. And the gaffer wasn't even in touchline, and they had scored, and it was like, oh fuck's sake! Like,
have you been fucking putting up bed sheets outside Pittodrie? Is it you?
I must be letting the gaffer's tires down or something. I must be doing something wrong.
So, Niall, you've been in Scottish football for most of your career, but you had a wee stint in South Korea. That must have been bananas. What was that like?
Yeah, I remember when it came out, and I was like, Jesus, like nobody could believe it, but it was interesting how it all came about. Ki Sung Young that I played with at Celtic, his dad was the president of the football club, so this South Korean agent got in touch with me. I put him in touch with my agent. They got speaking, and obviously Ki Sung Young said a lot of good things about me, which was good. And the thing that attracted me most about it was a new experience. And all my family's obviously back in Ireland. I didn't have a girlfriend or anything, and I was sort of on my own. I just thought, why not? New experience, go and experience it. Have no regrets. But for the Ki Sung Young's dad and the agent, both of them flew from South Korea to Belfast. Spent a couple of days in Belfast. Got to meet me in person. Got to meet me as a person, see who I am, and I was grand. And that was a big thing for me, like for me to go there, for them to make the effort to come across and obviously show that interest that they want to sign me. I just thought, why not go for it? But regarding the experience, it was a good experience, but it was difficult for me. I was like 3 hours south of Seoul, which is the capital city. The team had signed for, like we were struggling. Like I signed halfway through the season. I just didn't really get going. I think international football and club football were just having an effect on both. I was doing a lot of travelling back and forth, and jet lag was kicking in, and I was missing games through that, and it was just difficult. It was difficult all around. But I had my own English interpreter, so I was like Nakamura when he was at Celtic. So he just done everything for me. He was my best mate. So any problems or any issues, he just done everything. But it's definitely not a regret. I'm happy I went and done it and experienced it. And if I had went to like a better team, it would have been better. But talk of dogs, they eat dog soup in South Korea.
Really? Oh, no way.
We used to go out. They're big on eating together, and like you actually sit on the floor. Like when you go to these proper Korean restaurants, you sit on the floor. Like my back was in bits, and I was up against the wall, and like went in and I would go and eat like chicken soup, and you'd see like 5 or 6 lads go into this other wee room, and they're eating like dog soup, and I'm thinking, nah.
That sounds barking.
That's not right, but man, that's not right. That's not. Grado, even you like your grub, man, but Niall saying when he was in Korea, they had dog soup.
You had what's dog soup?
Aye,
dog soup. Aye.
Oh no, I can't go that.
I didn't eat it personally. I had chicken.
You better love, man. See, I can. There's nothing. See how when you see Ricky Gervais, right? I love him on Twitter, but see when he starts sharing all this, the dog.
Animal cruelty videos.
I can't go, mate. It makes me want to greet. And does it tell you? Does it say like golden retriever or just dog? Like, do you know what I mean?
I just went to the chicken section, thank God. But even like the main meals, like they're big into their big pots in the middle where they just boil everything. So you'd like the people walking out with like octopus, and octopus is just jumping about the place, and then they throw it into the boiling water, and then obviously it dies after a while, and then they just start eating it. But
Niall, see, cut you off. Octopus is right. Do you like documentaries?
I would do, yeah. I like true crime documentaries and true.
So they are. If you right, we'll get to that. But listen, Octopus. Type in, go and watch Netflix tonight. Right, it's called My Teacher Octopus. Right, and it's about a guy that stays in South Africa, and in the water where he lives, there's an octopus. Right, and he sees it one day, and then he goes back the next day and he sees it. He ends up having a fucking full pelt relationship with this octopus. They high five one in there. They dance. He's got all the footage. It's brilliant. They don't fall in love. They're just good pals, right? And well, the octopus dies right in the end, and it's very, very sad. Right,
Fucking
but
ruined
you
it
need
now.
to see this, man, because
Don't
octopuses,
watch it now.
they're like dugs. They see how you'd think like fishes are just fucking, they've got nothing, but they know love and all that.
Talk about dog soup and talking about this and that food, not octopus. Do you not own restaurants, Niall?
Yeah. So when I was at Celtic, my agent, he's always fingered a lot of pies, quite switched on, smart, intelligent man, sort of entrepreneur type character. Obviously been an agent for years, good businessman. He sort of just came to the idea of when I was at Celtic, he's thinking, how do you feel about opening a restaurant, me and you? And I was thinking, great idea. But he thought, like, in the middle of West Belfast. So West Belfast is obviously all Celtic Daft.
Mm-hmm.
I was right beside the hospital, good location, called the Falcha. So it was a nice, like, sort of good Irish traditional food, all your sort of breakfast, your lunches, and your dinners and stuff. And it was a great idea. So we ended up opening Falcha. And then with having opened Falcha, I had this big opening night, and I thought, yeah, we'll bring like a few of the Celtic players over. So we ended up bringing like 7 or 8 Celtic players over. So it was unheard of.
Bobby Petter there?
No, he was
I'm surprised at that.
He was he was chefing in the kitchen. I think he done DJ that night too, so he did. No, so what do you call it? For us at that time, like playing for Celtic was obviously a massive thing, but for me and my agent to bring 7 or 8 like current Celtic players to West Belfast was a massive thing. It was massive in the news back home and stuff, and me obviously opening the restaurant was huge. So we had like McGeady, we had Mark Crosas, Big Yoss Hoival, Paddy McCourt, Darren O'D, and now it was just a great few days. Delighted the boys came over and what do you call it, and helped me sort of launch it and different things, and then we later opened a restaurant in West Belfast in a small shopping centre, and it's still open till now. We sold on the first one, and then just before the whole pandemic, me and Jerry, I got on board, and he opened a pizza place right in the city centre in Belfast, which is a great location, but obviously with all this COVID stuff, it's just been an absolute nightmare. But no, it was just a wee interest outside of football that I got involved in, and he obviously got me involved in well, which is...
I love that. I think that's brilliant.
I was going to say, I'd like to try the restaurants and that, but we'd need to go down with different topes and that one, Gado. We'd need to watch in that area in Belfast.
I don't know, would we get in that?
I'd be all right.
You'd be all right, mate.
It'd be fine. I would like... Obviously, Jerry was looking after Kyle Lafferty for a bit. He had Kyle Lafferty up around West Belfast and stuff, and it's obviously scary to think, obviously, through the troubled times and stuff, but some of the stories, like even Kyle Lafferty, like in West Belfast, you'd never have heard of it, if you know.
Aye.
And then, like, I had Josh McGuinness, he's obviously from a Protestant background, but I had him down the Gallagate and all before, and like, do you know what I mean? And he was obviously treated very nice and stuff, and fans had a bit of crack. And
that's the way it should be, man.
That's the way it should be, definitely, man.
That's like it was always. I was always like sort of good crack. I was very friendly with a young goalkeeper at Rangers. His name was Wayne Drummond. He was an Irish lad, and I used to drive from Celtic training ground to Murray Park to pick him up after training. And
really,
I remember one day, what do you call him? He was one of the assistant managers at the time. He's real a bally fella, but he's a real die-hard Rangers man.
Oh, was it Celtic as well? Kenny McDowell, no?
No, he's always been a Rangers, but I think he's a wee bit bitter. But he seen me pulling up one day, and he didn't like it. Like
really.
No, I think he was going mad at the time. But it was one of those things. I just thought it was cool. Like there's me, current Celtic, driving the Rangers training.
Was it John Brown? Was it?
No, if he says,
is it Jimmy Bell?
No.
Oh, he's not bald.
He's not baldy.
I just noticed that he said better.
Man, but
was it when McLeish was there? Was it Watson?
That was in 2011, mate. That was years later. I was thinking that and all. That's pure got to do man nothing. John Brown.
Should I ask Big Stockman who it was?
No, I'm going to end up messaging you at 4 in the morning going, I've got it.
It was Durant.
Oh, what's that?
Durant?
Is he?
Yeah.
What's that?
I remember him. Definitely him. He didn't take it too well, but I was quite friendly, like Andy Little and Kyle Lafferty and obviously Steve Davis players that got the obviously through the international setup. You know what I mean? But I wasn't in the training ground. I was picking them up outside the training ground.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say that. Are you quite pally with Steve Davis?
Like obviously we've built up a good sort of like relationship over the years, but like he's always been in the Northern Ireland setup since I've been there. And he's a brilliant footballer, and he's just so down to earth, and he just goes about his business, and he's someone you look up to, and for him to obviously still be like he's an example of like obviously age like isn't an issue, if you know what I mean. Like how easy he gets through games, how well he uses experience, and that comes with experience of playing in the Premier League, winning trophies, playing for Rangers, and what's he get well over 100 caps for Northern Ireland as well. It's just incredible. He's like, you ask anyone who's played with him, they'll obviously say he's a great lad, he's this and that, but as a footballer, he's definitely up there, one of the best I've played with.
He's different class, man. Even last night, watching the game, just even things off the boy does, his positional sense, you just can't teach that. He's just always in the right place at the right time in the middle of the park, breaking play up. He's different class. What do you think, Tol?
He's all right,
good, mate. Right. Niall, it's been great talking to you, man. It's been brilliant. But at the end of every interview we do every week, we've got a 90-second football quiz. You up for it, mate?
I'll have to try it either.
Top of the leaderboard, we've got John Sutton and Chick Young on 15. Mark Wilson and Keith Lasley are tucked in behind with 14. While the good doctor Kenny Duker and Kevin Harper are just behind with 13. We've got other selected scores like Mark Reynolds on 10, Lauren Shankland on 7, Ross McCrory on 6. And at the bottom of the tier, it's a tie between Peter Lovenkrands, Derek Johnston, Craig Levine, and Mixu Pathalainen.
Anybody get last week?
5.
Aye, 5, aye.
No, he got 4.
Anybody you want to beat on that list there now?
Ross McCrory.
Oh, there we go, Ross McCrory. He's on 6, mate, so you need to beat him, obviously, know what I mean? But, Grado, you going to ask the questions, mate?
Aye. We ready, John?
Yep.
Is it just me answering them, or do you know the questions, or are you answering them as well?
No, it's just you answering them.
No, it's just you.
But listen, you can't pass.
You can't
pass.
Give an answer.
Give an answer, no matter, even if
it's all right.
Even if it's nonsense.
Are these the same questions the same guys had, no, or just different ones?
Different ones.
Different ones every week, mate.
Okay.
Are you ready? John, start the clock. What team are currently top of the Scottish Championship?
Hearts.
Darren Young is the manager of which side?
Oh, don't know. Don't know. Pass.
Can't pass, mate.
Freaking.
And what league do Kelty Hearts play in?
League 3, even though there isn't.
How many caps have you had for Northern Ireland?
62.
The Spaghetti Had is the nickname of which team's stadium?
Man City.
How much is the reported fee for Jeremy Frimpong's transfer to Leverkusen?
It's around 11 million, but it's like 11.12 or whatever.
Who do Rangers play in the next round of the Europa League?
Jesus. Benfica, even though it's not, I don't know.
In what year did you sign for Celtic?
2009.
What professional team play in Dumfries?
Dunfermline.
Who was the Celtic captain before Scott Brown?
Darno D.
Who was just been appointed the manager of Chelsea?
What is his name? T. I just call him T, but I don't know.
You scored your first Dons goal in a friendly against who?
I don't know. My first competitive goal was against Motherwell, but
who scored 2 penalties
against?
I started.
Let him answer the question.
Right, okay.
Started.
Aye. Who scored 2 penalties against Dundee United and St Mirren's 5-1 win on Wednesday night?
Graf.
John, over to you.
There we go. Over to you, John.
How do you think you done it?
Go through your wrong answers, Niall.
I think it's a tight one between.
And I don't think he heard one of the questions properly. So, right, the Spaghetti Had is the nickname.
I said it too fast, didn't I?
The Spaghetti Had is the nickname of which team's stadium?
And you said Man City. Would you still say Man City?
Daddy Had, isn't it?
Aye, but it's the Spaghetti Had. Whose stadium is referred to as the Spaghetti Had?
I don't know.
Right, we'll go through the wrong answers now. Darren Young is the manager of East Fife. Kelty Hearts play in the Lowland League, which should maybe be known as League 3. 62 caps in Northern Ireland, you got that. Though I had written down 61 here. Spaghetti Had is Livingston. Jeremy Frimpong, it's reported it's 11.5 million that he's went for.
I would give him that because we'll never ever know.
Right, the boys are saying we'll give you that, so we'll add that.
I started like 11.1 or something, and then I started with add-ons and stuff.
Listen, in Mastermind, you didn't get like points for just getting close to the answer. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, see, be fair, John, in Mastermind, the people that make the quiz know the answers.
You probably don't know the answer.
Exactly. The reported fee. Reported fee.
Okay, then I'll give you that.
You could listen to Clyde and they tell you one thing, and listen to Go and they'll tell you another.
Who would listen to Go?
Rangers are playing Royal Antwerp in the next round of the Europa League. Queen of the South playing Dumfries, not Dunfermline. Celtic captain before Scott Brown was Stephen McManus. I'll give you TT because that's obviously how you know him. It's Thomas Tuchel, who's just been appointed Chelsea manager, and you scored against St. Pauli in your debut. Is that right? In a friendly St. Pauli German team.
I'm never.
Was that not for Celtic?
It was actually, yeah, St. Pauli, yeah.
Well, give you that one because see, John, he's going on about Mastermind here, but he's fucking questions up now. I'm sorry.
No, but the thing is, Niall, John's taking on a new job recently, and he can't juggle the two of them.
He's burning the candles at both ends.
It should be your first competitive goal. It shouldn't be like your first friendly game.
Yeah, I'm giving
Exactly.
Right, in that case, you're beating your pal Ross McCrory. Ross McCrory is on six.
I've beaten Ross McCrory, not my pal. I'm only joking.
Well done, Niall. You scored 7 with all those gives.
Well done, mate. Well done.
Well done, mate.
Brilliant, man. And once again, mate, if we ever get you on one of the live shows we do in the future, we'll have a better producer with us at the time. Really sorry about John today, right? Really sorry.
And
thanks for coming on.
If your mind's puzzling you about the spaghetti head, it's because they get called it's a Tony Macaroni
Because
arena.
it's the Tony Macaroni arena.
I know it's Tony Macaroni, yeah. But
I know.
It's like Grado's still trying to explain it, and Niall's just
like
going to me. I know it's a Tony
pizza arena or something.
No, the spaghetti head. Or the spaghetti head.
Niall, thanks for coming on, mate.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
All the best.
Tell Derek McInnes get you back in that starting lineup, mate.
I will do. Cheers, all the best.
See you later, bye.
Scott, I'll see him soon.
Bye.
Guys, good show today. Good laugh.
Brilliant. Now, tonight I'm going to be sitting down with a bowl of M&Ms. I'm going to put on BBC Scotland. I'm going to watch Scott Squad at 10 o'clock.
Mate, your product placement has been all over this podcast today. Your Instagram, your other podcast. You're like fucking Alan Partridge today, man.
The only thing that's missing is a big cup of juice.
Right,
sorry, a big cup of Coca-Cola.
Right, guys, obviously it's the return of Tam Spraggins and you're doing the scene with Grado. Can you let us in? This goes out on Friday, sort of went out on the Thursday. What is it all about? What happens? Come on.
But then if we tell yous, then it's not going to be fun for yous to watch.
Right, okay.
I know, don't, because I'm going to sit and I'm going to sit and watch it. I'm going to support my troops.
Yeah.
Chris, because me and Jordan are like that, so I will fucking be watching it, know what I mean? And
just let me know this, Chris. Do you refer to Grado as Shagger?
No, not once.
Oh! That's
not once.
That's not my character on Scott Squad.
I know, but what I'll tell you is...
That's PC Jack McLaren, isn't it?
The word Shagger is used, right? And the retort that comes from Grado, every time I watch it, I nearly piss myself laughing.
Have you seen it?
You sent me it, mind.
Aye, but it was 9 minutes long. It'll be cut.
You better not have cut that bit out.
See if this comes on tonight and the two years are on for like 30 seconds and it goes off.
It will be. It's the same every week in Scott Squad.
I don't know, Grado, and I think they might split it into two, like they done with that one last week. Fingers crossed, anyway.
Fingers crossed. But anyway, I will be watching Troops, and the day was a good. I enjoyed your company today, Troops. John, maybe a wee bit more room for next week, my man.
Okay,
Cut a Pro Plus half an hour before we start, John.
Aye, be fucking Red Bull and all that, know what I mean? But no,
you've done well, John.
Just do a Robbie Fowler celebration.
Well, John, everybody at their own. That's what you need. Know what I mean?
That's it. Listen, lads, I'm going to head. I know you are going to want the Big Brother story, but my door's just went. Years later, here's what
I can't believe that you're alone.
See you later.
See you later.
Audio Frontier.